Hi there, welcome to another episode of Maniac Red Devils. Now on today's show, we won't be discussing football or transfers or anything related to football. Actually, it's related to football, to be honest. We will be doing a movie review instead. Now, why movie review? Actually, you might have already guessed from the description itself that we will be reviewing the movie, the documentary that has been made on Sir Alex Ferguson Never Given by his son Jason. If you are a fan of football in general, must be aware with the name Sir Alex Ferguson. Arguably the greatest manager in world football. 27 years in charge as a manager at Manchester United. No wonder we have struggled since he retired. Now, coming back to the movie, it's directed by his son Jason, and the movie is basically has got a personal touch because it's about Sir Alex Ferguson sitting down with his son Jason, reflecting about his life and football, and sometimes it's just too personal, and as an audience you just feel a bit voyeuristic, invading their privacy, in fact. This movie has been shot at a time when he had a brain hemorrhage in 2018, and this was at a point where he was afraid that he would be losing all his memories, and therefore was shot about 2 weeks into the recovery period. The movie shows Sir Alex Ferguson's career as a player and a manager, his duties as a father, as a son, as a husband or a brother. It portrays all his human sides, but the movie doesn't show much about his career post to 1999 triumph. Maybe they are planning a sequel to that. I'm not quite sure of it. No, this is roughly the premise of the movie. Let's get to the movie itself. The movie starts with Sir Alex Ferguson's childhood as a government boy, with his father working in Glasgow in a shipping dockyard, and his career, his start as a player in his club, I think St. Johnstone was the name of the club, and how a small chance changed his life forever, and he went on to represent Rangers, whom he supported from his childhood, and how his marriage with Kathy, who was a Catholic, and how this interfaith marriage impacted his career, and in fact went on to end his career. His transition to manager at Aberdeen, where he had a bunch of boys who didn't have the required set of skills to match the stalwarts of the game, or didn't even were confident of their abilities, and Ferguson took those boys, grabbed hold of them, inculcated a sense of confidence in them, and these guys went on to become not only the Scottish champions, they went on to defeat the mighty Bayern Munich in European Cup Winners' Final. Then after winning the Cup Winners' Cup with Aberdeen, the ambition in him took him to UK in the to being the manager of MUFC. He initially struggled a bit in as manager of Manchester United. Actually struggled a bit would be an understatement, and there was a point in 1990 where he was close to the sack, and his family, they didn't have enough confidence in him, and they thought that he had taken on a challenge which was beyond him. And there's an interesting incident at that point of time. United went on to qualify for the final of the FA Cup against Crystal Palace, and United drew 3-3 in the first game, and that time FA Cup, if the games were tied, there used to be a replay of the games. So United's goalkeeper was Jim Leighton, who Sir Alex had took with him from Aberdeen, and he was also a good friend of Sir Alex, but he was down in confidence. He was having a torrid time and was partially or fully to blame for a few of the goals that United conceded in the league or in the FA Cup final as well. So he decided to drop Leighton for the final game, went against his coach Archie Knox at the moment, and who was not in favor of dropping him, but Sir Alex went with his gut instincts and dropped Leighton in favor of Lee Seeley, who was the other goalkeeper, and played him in the replay, who had a great game, and United went on to become the FA Cup champions. And frankly, Sir Alex didn't have to look back from that moment on in his career. And in fact, there was an interesting quote from Sir Alex in the documentary itself on Seeley. He thought Seeley was not that good a goalkeeper. In fact, he didn't even rate him highly as a goalkeeper, but he thought his confidence was there. He always thought of himself as a good goalkeeper, and that's what mattered. This is also another example of confidence, what confidence can do to a sportsman. The movie also has a few anecdotes from his players like Ryan Giggs, Eric Cantona, and also Gordon Strachan, who played under him at Aberdeen. I think he was a captain. He was his captain at Aberdeen, and they were not on speaking terms till the recording of the movie. Also, the anecdote from Ryan Giggs was very funny that I would like to share. Ryan Giggs, he once got an earful from the gaffer because he didn't tie his top button in a team dinner, and he got an earful from the manager, and he saw Eric Cantona turn up in somewhat funny attire. I don't exactly remember the details of the attire he was wearing. Probably a white linen shirt and a trouser, and Ryan Giggs was rubbing his hands, waiting for the manager to give Cantona a rollicking. But instead, what the gaffer did was he praised Cantona and praised his style in front of all the players. And this is basically man management for you. You know, to be successful at the top level, you got to know the tactics, you got to know about formations, about players, but the most important thing in managing at the top level is man management. And he was a man manager. He was the best. I really love the movie. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it 8.5. I would take away the 1.5 points only because I was rooting for an even larger movie. I wanted to see post 1999 about the 2008 triumph of Manchester United. But this is not merely about the football in terms of footballing triumph. This has beautifully portrayed the sport's greatest champion managers and his vulnerability so brilliantly. It has been portrayed that it's I found the movie amazing, and it ends with Sir Alex Ferguson coming back to his home at Old Trafford, where he was after being treated for brain hemorrhage, and he was well, and he came to the stadium applauded by the thousands of the fans in attendance. And no matter who you support as a fan, be it Manchester United or any other club for that matter, you must be getting goosebumps seeing that scene. I was literally shaking. So I love the movie. I am waiting hopefully for a sequel to the movie where they would show his career post the 1999 era. I don't know whether they are planning to make a sequel, but I am definitely rooting for one. Anyways, thanks for today's episode. I'll end it here. Goodbye.